Welcome to our segment of Conversations with Morning Coffee. Hispanics and Latinos are some of the fastest growing groups in the U.S., yet we are virtually invisible on screen. And Latinas are mostly naked 37.5% of the time, likely to being either partially dressed or nude on the big screen. Does this mean that we are finally being included in the mainstream, or are we under the illusion of inclusion, and do we need to take a stand?
We're absolutely under the illusion of inclusion because we've been misrepresented throughout history in Hollywood. And I think now we should work towards changing that misconception that there is of Latinos and Latinas. If you go to South America, many Latinas don't look like what they promote and advertise in Hollywood. So I think it's very important to make a statement about how we've been misrepresented and how we are being portrayed as lower class people.
I tend to completely agree with you. I think that there's definitely a stereotype of what a Latino person looks like according to Hollywood. And it definitely creates limitations for actors in terms of, their look, whether they might, if they have an African background, they might not be able to book work. If they are more Anglo looking, they might be told, well, you can't play this role because you look white. And so I think there's like this gray area where people it's not really clear. Well, not that it's not really clear, but that basically everybody has to fall into this little fancy box. And if you don't fall into this box, then you're not considered Latino and you can't play this role. And then again, like you were saying, most of the roles that are available are roles where you are playing a criminal or where a woman's being objectified and she's scantily clad and she's got, everything sort of just hanging out and she's a sexual object.
But I mean, okay, so what about for companies that are doing this for the money? What about from that point of view?
Well, money is one thing. However, I think we have to look at it at a bigger picture. How is this affecting our youth? How are these young women growing up? When you're a kid and you're looking on screen and you're like, okay, this person looks like me, and they're portraying a drug dealer or a murderer, or the women are being portrayed as some sort of sexual object. I mean, how does that affect our children and the people that are coming up?
That is very true. I mean, again, according to the numbers of a 2009 University of Georgia study entitled The Multicultural Economy, Latinos make up 25% of movie ticket sales and command roughly $1 trillion in spending power. I mean, how do you feel about the numbers being represented here?
Well, I think the numbers go to tell you that there is strength in numbers, and we are the minority who has become the majority, and we are definitely a very influential part of the United States, and we can see it. I mean, we are the ones who go and consume the products that are out there, whether it's CDs, concerts, movies, rentals. So I think we definitely are a big influential part when it comes to the financial aspect of the industry, and I think we should take a stand and try to change that.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and I think one of the ways that we can do that is now with the advancement of technology and all of the access that we have to the media, with YouTube, with Vimeo, with all of these different outlets. We can have a voice, and we need more Latino writers to, tell our stories, to represent us in a positive way, in a proper way, so that it's not that we're being portrayed as a stereotype, because we're not a stereotype. We come in all different colors, all different shades, from all over the world. We're everywhere, and people don't realize that. And the only way that they're going to realize that is if we have a voice for ourselves.
That is very true. Again, look at all these diverse faces, complexities, and personalities. It's time that we recognize that. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great night.